Who says we have to be professional?
Me.
How come? We can...
Okay. Welcome back to another episode of the Unnamed Podcast at this moment in time.
Starsky and Hutch, episode 2.
No.
That could be the name.
No, I feel like that with their Star Trek characters, there's probably copyright issues there.
Starsky. Who'd be Starsky and who'd be Hutch?
We don't even know who they are, so we
I don't
can't
know who they are,
answer
but
that.
if you had to pick, what is your first impression of the name Hutch? Who would it be?
I can't. I need to know.
I feel like you'd be Starsky, and I would be Hutch. You just give me Starsky vibes.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, you're more important, and it's got the word star in it, so I feel like you can be...
I feel like that was kind of
Starsky.
cute, but it also still feels like a dig for some reason.
What the hell? I'm trying to put you on a pedestal, and you're not accepting it.
That's because you don't do those things, so like, it's...
And I could be Hutch. Like, I was just stretching. Like, I feel like Hutch means like hunchback, and that could be my back. That
You're
I was
not
just...
a hunchback.
Yeah, but I was just stretching because I have back issues, so maybe...
Yeah, but everyone our age has back issues. It's called growing up.
Yeah, but I feel like out of the relationship, I have the worst back, so I get dibs on Hutch.
I think I just don't complain about my back.
Well, again, I'm more vocal about it, so I get Hutch.
Okay.
Unless you want to be Hutch.
I don't care. I just don't think that's a good reason for you to get Hutch.
Okay, well, explain to me who gets Hutch then, in your perspective.
I need to know who these characters are before
I have no idea other than I think they're a duo from Star Trek.
I know that. I just can't commit.
You need to fantasize your life, Cassidy. We just talked about this. You need to
Fantasize
scenarioize. Is that a word?
It was romanticize.
Yeah, but this is scenarioize. Like, make a scenario.
I read for escapism.
Can you tell me how that relates to Starsky and Hutch?
It means I don't need to escape into this.
This is where I get my creativeness, is my brain, not books.
That's valid.
I was at work, and people suck. I don't know how else to put it. Okay, no, listen to me. Don't give me that face. I was literally just minding my business, walking to the bathroom, and this person comes up to me, and they're like, "Oh, how's your day?" And I was like, "Oh, just a regular conversation, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's good. They're like, "Yep, good. Oh, what are you working on? Blah, blah, blah." And then like, "Oh, by the way, your hair is really wild. You should fix that." And I was just taken back. Like, I was just like, A, where did that come from? And B, was that necessary? Like, I didn't have to say anything about your appearance or anything. Like, I just feel like that was just A, out of left field, and B, and like, why was that necessary?
I feel like people shouldn't say anything ever, but also...
And it was just so random, because it's like, now did you come make this small talk to pretend like you actually wanted to talk to me just to get like a dig in? Were you thinking you were being helpful?
I think they were thinking they were being helpful.
Or like...
I don't think someone comes to make small talk with you to get a dig in.
I don't know. People suck. And it was just so like...
I think that they were trying to be helpful.
But like,
and it was done in a bad way. What do you
want me to do? You think I'm going to go have a shower in the... Like, go home and come back?
They probably just thought you could go brush your hair.
Who brings a brush to work?
I have a brush everywhere with me.
I brought a toothbrush to work.
Who is it? Why do you have a toothbrush at work,
so
but not a hairbrush?
In case I forget to brush my teeth or have a coffee in the morning and you get the like grittiness of the coffee off your teeth.
What if someone comes up to you and tells you that you need to fix your hair?
I feel like bad breath is more of a situation than bad hair.
Most people have gum,
but also that's like my hair. It's just naturally messed up all the time.
Which it's fine, and I still think that they probably were rude, but I don't think they meant it to be rude.
I just feel like people need to just stay in their lane. I don't know how else to put it. That was just crazy.
But also, like, I guess there's a flip side. Like, wouldn't you want someone to tell you if you didn't want to fix it? Like, if you've had something in your teeth, you don't want someone to tell you that there's something in your teeth.
I can fix in seconds. My hair, what am I supposed to do?
Brush it.
Go with to the store and buy a brush?
Like, I brush my hair with my hand.
Work. Like, my teeth, I can go in the bathroom, but what am I going to do in my... I don't know. That's like coming up to me like, you have a big-ass pimple on your forehead. Sick. You think I didn't notice?
No, but you can fix your hair.
Kind of.
You can run your hands through it to fix it. Like, go to the bathroom, put some water on it. Like,
yeah, and then I walk around like I just had a shower. People are like, did you fall in a pool? Like, I'm gonna be walking around the office and you're gonna be dripping wet.
okay, well, you don't make it soaking wet.
Wow, that I need to get it.
But like,
I don't know. It was just.
I also
crazy.
just like to believe that people are not doing things for angry intentions, and they just thought they were being helpful and nice.
I think
I don't like to believe the worst in people.
Need to be more self-aware of how things are said or approach it different. I don't know. It was weird. Yeah.
Yes, but also in other aspects, could you approach how you think of it differently? Instead of automatically thinking that was rude and mean, think about how maybe they were just trying to be helpful. And yes, it wasn't helpful. But instead of thinking, man, they suck, they're a terrible person, they were just looking out for you. And it was done in a wrong way.
I don't know. I didn't take it really because I was like, well, whatever. I just think that was a crazy thing to say to someone at 7 a.m. I didn't know how else to put it. I think that was just like at 7 a.m. that coming out of left field was just crazy. The other thing that is I always have headphones in. Not always, but like a lot of the time. And if I have headphones in, don't come and talk to me.
That's how most people exist.
Like that's like me having equivalent to me having my door shut. Or like don't like that's like
I would say this, but you
red
talk to
flag.
me constantly with my headphones in. Constantly.
I think you do the same thing to me.
Yes, but I don't care if you talk to me with my headphones in. My headphones going in are not a we can't talk situation for me. I'm listening to something.
I also feel like this is a different situation at work. Like I feel like I guess we're working here too.
Yeah, like this is my job.
I don't know. I just feel like it's like I'm focused on something right now. The worst part, maybe I should phrase this better. The worst part is like they come and talk to you like they're like 3 sentences in before I even have my headphone out. Like they start talking to me like I've been listening the whole time.
You do this all
You
of the
need to come
time to me.
And say like, hey, do you got a second? And then when I take my headphone out, carry on with your conversation. Don't like.
Do they even
keep
know you have a
talking.
headphone sometimes? People are not that aware. That's a thing.
I'm sitting at my desk typing. And then like, and they come around my desk this way and they're staring at the side of my head where my AirPod is.
I'm telling you right now, I'm never noticing that.
I don't know. I think.
I'm not that aware of what surroundings look like.
Or like, just come to me and be like, hey, do you have a second to talk? And then let me like transition to what I would need to, like what you want to talk about, instead of just being like, hey, did you do this and then this and this and this and this and this and this? And did you execute this? And did you send this email? And it's like, bro, I don't even know where you're at right now. I'm on Mars and you're on Jupiter right now. We need to meet somewhere on Earth.
Which, like, I understand and I get. I think my biggest frustration with what you're saying is why did they have to come to your way of thinking, and like you want them to stop to be like you and you're not willing to stop and be like them, or just have a vocal conversation being like, hey, listen, next time you come to me, my headphones in, just say this, instead of just assuming that they should be like you.
I think there's a right way, like a more respectful way to approach a conversation than just like coming at somebody.
But it's your respectful way. Like, they don't think it's rude, and how do they know that you don't think it's rude unless you say something? This is my biggest... Communication is key in life, and you're just miscommunicating with people.
But there's like certain things when you like eat dinner that you don't do because it's just like, maybe that's a bad example. I don't know.
But we were taught those things, and they're not all the same. You clean, like, for example, drives me up a wall when people clean or don't eat when dinner's ready and hot. That's not the same at your house.
No.
You all clean up the kitchen and you just eat whenever you want. Your mom texts you when you eat 2 hours later. At my house, like, that would be rude.
That's fair.
Like, we go up to eat when dinner is called. It's hot. I put so much work into eating your food. You eat it when it's going to taste good. But it's different at your house, and that's not wrong either.
But I just feel like that doesn't affect both parties. Like, if I think my food tastes good cold, why does it matter if I eat it cold?
But I slaved over it. I put work into it. It affects me and my like my feelings about it. Like I wouldn't work hard to make this food taste good if you're just gonna eat it when it's trash. Like just heat something up in the microwave and make it yourself then.
See, I think that's crazier because it's not like.
But I understand that not everyone is like that. And I've communicated with you before saying like, hey, can you wait to clean the kitchen till after dinner because it upsets me that you're not eating my food.
That's fair, but I feel like to expand on that, I have communicated to the person. It's like, okay, they want to talk to me. It's like, can you give me 5 minutes, 10 minutes to finish what I'm doing? And then I'll come talk to you. But then like that's an issue and they continue to talk to me. They're like, well, I'm already here. It's like, no, I'm doing something. Can you give me 5 minutes? It's like, no. And then they start spilling it off anyways. And it's like,
which then is rude.
I just respectfully asked you to give me 5 minutes. Is that not a valid?
Which that's valid in my opinion. As long as you're communicating and if they're not listening to your communication, I think that's rude.
Or it's like, they'll message me on Teams or something. They'll be like, hey, do you have 5 minutes to talk? Or like, can you talk? And it's like, yep, I'll come see you whenever. And then within 30 seconds, they're walking over and they're standing over top of me already. And it's like, bruh, I just told you, leave me alone.
It's because people's time is their own and they value their own time over yours. And it's a conversation of rudeness. Like, I do agree. And as long as you're like actually communicating these things, then they are being rude. But if you're just assuming it, then I think that that's an issue.
I know it's my own issue that I can't sometimes expect people. But this is why work is so draining to me. It's because I just feel like nobody respects you.
I'm also think the more you have friends and discuss and talk to people, the more likely they are to respect your time and stuff.
I don't know. Work is just.
I feel like more people agree with you than me on this.
Toxic. I need to know if people agree that headphones is a no headphone zone.
I agree that that's why most people put their headphones in. I just think that you can't.
Okay, but me and you is a different relationship. True or false?
True. But I'm never mad. Like, I don't know. I just choose not to be like annoyed at people for doing things. Like, sometimes I complain about it. Like, I'll complain. I'm like, I'm in the grocery store and someone talked to me and my headphones are in or something. But
see, that should be a no too. Like, you are there strictly to complete your mission of getting asparagus and you are rudely interrupted by someone that.
How can I expect them to know I had my headphones in?
Okay, but I feel like a girl's different because your hair covers it. But if you got short hair and you can visibly see my headphones in my earlobes, inside of them.
I don't look. That's my problem.
Or like.
Okay, but what I will never know there's a headphone in your ear because I did not look for a headphone. And also, like, I feel like.
Sometimes, mistakes happen. But what if you got like over the ear headphones on? You're walking around like Beats by Dre and I'm grooving. I'm listening to my music in the grocery store, get nice.
I'm not talking to that
mashed
person.
Potatoes, and someone goes, "Hey, what did you think about the basketball game last night?" And the worst part is when you take my headphones off to talk about something like that, like something that is so unnecessarily needed to be talked about, and you just made me stop enjoying my music and have to take my headphones and go, "Huh?"
This is also, I would say, a social to non-social person issue because like sometimes you're just making conversations to make friends or like what if they have a question that they need help.
I'm not trying to make friends with Janet at the cashier,
which you might not be but they might be. Also, I think it's rude to like put your headphones in and like not talk to a cashier.
I would agree with that. Maybe the cashier is a bad example, but Billy that's getting his Cinnamon Toast Crunch off the shelf, I don't care that you went and walked your dog last night. I'm just trying to get my Captain Crunch.
Which is fair.
And I don't care about Rufus the dog while you're getting Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
But also
I just
you
want
could
my
just
cereal.
Keep your headphones on and ignore them then because you don't care about them.
That's worse.
No, because
now they put me in the situation. Instead of just leaving the situation neutral, now I'm on my toes and I am in a hostile situation.
Why is what you want more better than what they want? They wanted to talk to you. You don't want to talk to them.
I think they should put me in an uncomfortable situation.
But maybe it's more uncomfortable for them to sit in this aisle and just not talk to you. Like
then maybe they should go to the grocery store with somebody.
They don't all have that ability. And like, I just think this is you prioritizing what you want over someone else's and not thinking about that. And yes, I don't talk to people with their headphones on. If I have my headphones on, I don't want you to talk to me. But if you do talk to me, I'm either A, gonna ignore you because I have my headphones on and I'm gonna pretend that I didn't hear you. Or 2, I'm just gonna talk back to you. Or 3, I'm gonna be like, hey, sorry, I missed that. My headphones are on. I'm not really in the mood to talk.
I feel like that's worse to be like, hey, I'm not in the mood to talk. See, this is the difference between me and you is you'll straight up say like, hey, I don't want to talk to you. Me, I can't. I get anxiety that I like. It makes me feel bad that I tell them that. And then I start sweating and then I'm like nervous and I'm like, okay, now I have to talk to this person.
And I think more people are on your side than my side.
What do I say next? Now I need to think of something. And I'm not even listening to what they're saying. I'm trying to think of what I can say next so that I don't sound like an asshole.
But that's an asshole. Like,
no, but
to have an actual conversation, you just listen and you just respond naturally to someone. You're more of an asshole by telling me that you're not actually listening to me because you're trying to figure out. No, but I don't tell them that. Yeah, but you're
that's just how my
an asshole because you're not having an actual conversation.
But I don't mean it to be an asshole. I'm trying to be nice to carry on the conversation with them and not like ignore them and make it more awkward in the situation.
Yes, but really,
this is
you're
how
doing
my brain
the reverse.
works. I'm trying, but I'm not. It's not intentional.
I know.
I'm just trying to be like, okay, how can I make this person feel comfortable so then like I feel less uncomfortable and they feel comfortable, and how can we just exist happily together and someone's not awkward and.
This is a social person over a non-social person. I don't stress when I'm talking. Like someone says something to me, and I've never once stressed about it.
I'm getting anxious just thinking about having to talk to someone in public. Like my toes are curling.
Which is why people like you go out in headphones more often than not. I've rarely had headphones in thinking that no one should talk to me because my headphones are in. I mostly have them because I'm listening to an audiobook and I don't want to stop it or like.
Well, it's not even like. I mean, sometimes it's like I don't want to talk to someone, but like most of the time it's like I just want to focus on what I'm doing right now, and I'm dialed in with what I'm doing. Don't interrupt. It's like the do not disturb button.
This is when
like that do not disturb button on your phone. It's pressed right now. It is on. Like you're in the podcast recording. The on air button is on air. It's glowing. You can see that it is glowing. Do not enter the room until that light is off.
When I was with Lexi, we talked about this quite a bit because there was one night where I was editing a video, had my headphones in, was editing the video. Lexi turned to talk to me all night long, and I just continued to edit my video. No problems. I had conversations with her. The next day, she was doing something, and I was talking to her. Every single time I talked to her, she had to pause everything, stop everything, have a conversation with me. And eventually, I was like, "Can you not work while I'm talking?" And she can't. She's like, it would like ruin her concentration. She'd have to start over again. That doesn't happen to me. I don't have that issue.
And this is probably an ADHD thing.
Yeah, that's what we're pretty sure it is.
I agree. I get that too. If I was writing a test in school and I was halfway through a paragraph and someone dropped a pencil on the other side of the classroom, I would have to reread the whole thing.
So like the other thing is some people just aren't aware of that and how that affects you, and communicating that this is what happens is sometimes better. Or, you know what, maybe your headphones don't work, so maybe put a do not disturb sign on your desk.
Yeah, but then I just feel like I'm attention grabbing.
Why is that attention grabbing?
Because it's like, hey, look at me. I'm the only one with the sign on my desk. Don't come and talk to me.
It's not that deep.
I don't know. I just want to exist.
Which is fine.
And not be put in uncomfortable situations by other people. And I know it's not, but sometimes it feels like people like do it on purpose. I know most of the time it's not, but like it just...
I would guarantee you no one's doing it on purpose.
I don't know. In school, I swear teachers would make kids read just because they sucked at reading.
Well, that's not the same as interrupting you.
No, but that's the same as like putting someone in an uncomfortable situation intentionally.
But sometimes they do it to like, some are just mean. Some people are just mean-spirited.
That's what I mean. You can't tell me that they're not like, it's not intentional sometimes.
I think we're talking about two different scenarios now.
I think they're comparable.
No, I don't think that someone being a terrible person and making you as a teacher read when you suck at reading just because you suck, which honestly I think most teachers aren't doing that for no reason.
I don't know. LA was always like, that was some of the most anxiety I had in my life. Was they're like, okay, you read, and then you're like, please don't pick me, please don't pick me, fuck me, please. please stop looking the way. And it's like, do I look at the teacher so that they don't pick me, so I look like I'm engaged, or do I pretend I'm not paying attention so that they don't pick me? And then you're running through all these scenarios on how you don't have to read.
I'm so thankful I don't have anxiety.
Publicly read in front of all of these people, and I can't read because I'm dyslexic, and then everyone makes fun of you because you can't read.
The problem is they're also trying to teach you something.
Yeah, but
because you are never going to read, and public speaking is one of the most important skills you can ever have in life.
But look at me now. I'm public speaking now.
You're not public speaking.
This is going to millions of followers.
It's recorded in front of no public audience. No, but it's edited. This is not public speaking.
I feel like it's still kind of public speaking.
No. Public speaking is an audience. And live.
But I feel like I could live stream to people. Is that public speaking? They're not in front of you, but it's live streamed?
I would count that more, definitely.
I feel like I could do that.
But I still think it's different.
But it's also like, I feel like I can talk better on things that I want to talk about. So I can live stream, and I feel like...
Yes, but
I wouldn't like to have a public... This is weird. I don't like public speaking and reading, but I want to do YouTube and content. Not having them in front of me feels less...
I would say it's different. But you go into a meeting and you have to talk. That's public speaking, and you needed to learn those skills by doing things such as projects in front of the class, reading out loud. Like, those are valuable skills that teachers taught you. You just didn't realize they were, in ways, valuable. I'm also a fucking drama kid, so I'm the wrong person to talk to about the anxiety of speaking in front of a crowd. I feel like I'm just lecturing you in this
Mr.
episode.
Winters damn well knew that Johnny didn't like to speak, and he would go, fuck this kid, I'm going to ruin his life.
So in my opinion, the people who don't like it and can't do it are the ones who need to do it.
Yeah, but can't you do it? Can't you do it in a
speak?
Can't you do it in like a different way? Like, but also like, I think that's wrong, because if that kid doesn't like public speaking, he's not going to be a public speaker. So why should he be forced into something that he's not going to pursue in life? He's not going to be a concert performer or a motivational speaker at schools. Why can't he go be a mathematician because he likes to be math?
What about when you have to present your idea of math or your project to your bosses? That's public speaking.
I think you can still do that and present it to someone one-on-one. I don't think you need to do it in a crowd of 30 people.
But there are times where you would have to in your life. And there are people who are going to avoid it at all costs.
I don't think you have to. Why don't you come up with the idea, explain it to one person or whatnot, or come up with the idea with someone, and then that person that's better at public speaking presents it to the masses?
That's not always the case, though. You're not always working with someone.
Why? There's no reason it couldn't be.
Depending on your job.
I still think that they could hire someone or find someone in the company that is a stronger public speaker that could do it.
But then it's not your project.
That's fine, though.
That's fine to you. Not to everyone.
But then they would have more passion about it, and they'd be fine to talk about it.
And that's not the case for everyone. Some people have passion about something and can still not public speak.
Or like, there's different ways to do it. Make a PowerPoint. Put the PowerPoint on a thing and let people read it, or write it out so people can read it. Why does it have to be like a verbal thing where I'm standing here?
Which it
imagining the crowd in their underwear.
But it's a skill that's valuable to learn. And that's what school is for, teaching you.
I just think
skills. And if you...
School and people should be using their strengths and not forced to use their weaknesses. I think you become a better person if you can use your weaknesses, but...
I don't think you should not be taught to use your weaknesses.
I think you should play off your strengths.
Yes, but your weaknesses should be practiced and trained and taught. Like... If you are just never given the time to public speak, you can never get better at it, and you're going to have anxiety for the rest of your life. The more you do it, the better you get at it.
Yes.
And yes, it's scary and it's stressful, but that's what school is there for.
But I don't think you'll ever be like, I'm going to be a motivational speaker.
But that's not only public speaking. And there are plenty of people who conquer fears like that and do become one. What if you grow this platform to a point that you are going
doing this live? I feel like I could get behind it. Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
To like an award like, what if your music pops off and you have to go to an award show?
My award speech would be, thanks, friends. It'd be the typical, like, thanks, friends and family. I worked hard. Thanks, everybody.
But that's something you would have to go do and say.
Also, I feel like something like that's so emotional and you're so invested in, that you worked so hard for, that it would just come a little bit more naturally. That you could just like your emotions would take over and speak for you.
This
if
is
that makes sense.
True, but
Versus
you're still
like
going to be stressed and anxiety.
go explain Pythagorean's theorem to Jimmy and Johnny and Janet from the cashier store.
They're teaching you how to basically do it, though, versus, like, yes, anything that you're more passionate about is going to be easier. But also sometimes you talk about things that you're not passionate about in life, and that's just how life works.
But why can't, if the teachers want to, like, emphasize public speaking, why can't the teachers, like, if Jimmy likes to talk about cars, why can't his public speaking thing be about cars? Why does he have to read The Mockingjay or whatever the fuck that book was?
I agree that the education system hasn't been updated in like 20 years and it needs to be updated, but I don't think taking public speaking off is the way to go. Also, as we talked about another time, reading comprehension only gets better if you read. So they're forcing you to do things you don't like in order to improve your skills. And that's why you go to school. Blame politics for the fact that nothing has been updated and it should change, and we should be changing processes based on things we've learned in science in the last 10 years, and people with ADHD, how they deal with things differently, and all of this should be taught, and teachers should get a raise because they should teach it all. But it's a lot deeper than that. But I think forcing someone to read something out loud is not bad.
I think you should still do things you don't like.
Yes.
But I think that they should play off of, make it easier by using something that they're actually like or want to talk. Like, I don't know.
Some people don't want to talk about anything whether they like it or not, though. This is also the issue.
Which I think in a way needs to be, I don't know. I know what you're saying. I see both.
I agree that the system needs to be changed, and that talking about something you're passionate about is a much better way to get people into things. But I also think in life you can't always just talk about things you're passionate about. What about going and getting a new job and talking to a room of strangers in there? Like, you don't have a choice. You have to use your social skills. Like, you can't always just do corner. Everything you want to do.
I would sit and rock with my knees on my chest.
You'd have your headphones in.
And I would have my headphones in and my hoodie up. They put me on the safety committee at work like a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to like...
present, public speak?
Kind of, yeah. And I couldn't do it. I had to tell them to take me off the committee. I can do it.
You probably should have practiced more in school.
Nope.
I just think not doing things we don't like or doing things because they scare us or like give us anxiety is not helpful. Like, the only way to move past those things is to do them.
I agree.
But you don't really.
No, I do agree. It's just funny coming from you for some, like...
What do I like...
You were, the other day you were just... Okay. I don't mean it in the type of way, but you're like, I hate cleaning. I
just don't clean. This is true.
It's just funny. Everyone has their things that they don't want to do.
But I still do clean.
I agree.
And I know
public
I can't
speaking right now.
Avoid it. But... like, I try not to let something scaring me or, like, stressing me out. We know I don't really get that stressed. What is something that you've been, like you're scared of, that, like, you fear for, but you, like, want to do in your life?
Probably skydiving.
Mine would be the same answer, probably. But, like, also, I'm literally batshit terrified of that, so I don't think I would do it.
I think I want to do it. But it's, like, what if that... fucker doesn't open?
I don't have those thoughts. I'm just scared of heights, and I was like jumping off that plane.
No, I'm scared of dying.
Scary.
I don't care, but like if I knew that I would make it to the bottom, like 100% guaranteed, I would do it.
Yeah, I just don't want to jump off the plane.
Yeah, that's not the part that scares me. It's the part that, like, what if a little rodent crawls in there and chews a hole through my rope?
It's too late. I can't do anything about it at that point.
Well, that's why I don't want to get on the plane. Or like bungee jumping. I go and jump off the cliff and Enrique doesn't have the thing hooked onto the... and I just, see you later.
Valid.
Quit my job and go for content creating. I feel like that's something that I've always wanted to do, but that's scary. That's less like
I feel like
typical
that's not
answer.
I guess quitting your job is a fear.
That's like, I quit my job, my finances are... why did I say it like that? My finances are like uncertain. Why am I... uncertain? Why did I...
You're just stressing about how you say things. Maybe you should read more out loud.
I'm dyslexic. Get me to say... should I say it? Specific.
Like the Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean,
No, stop
or
it.
specific, like a specific fruit?
There's too many S's in the mic. Specific. It just gets stuck in my tongue, and
What is going on?
Get it out. There's certain words that I can't say. And specific. Specific.
Specific. Essentially. Specific. A specific fruit.
Spific. Suspific.
Essentially, yeah.
Spific?
Yes.
And that, I don't even remember what I was talking about.
Your finances.
Yeah, finances. What should I say? I can't speak.
Okay.
I think quitting job is a very scary thing.
I think a lot of people would.
It's uncertainty. Can you afford your house? Can you afford to eat? Am I going to find a new job? Is whatever I'm going to pursue going to work out?
I understand that for most other people, but the thing is we both live with our parents. So, like, you don't pay rent at your house. You don't pay groceries at your house. So, like, what finances are you trying to...
I think it's more long-term. Like, when I'm 60, am I going to be able to retire? Am I going to be able to retire when I'm 50? Am I going to have to work till I'm 70? Like, look how crazy the economy is now. What's going to happen by the time we're 50? Is it going to be worse? Probably. Am I going to need even more money? Probably. If I don't work now, how am I going to have money later? Do I want to have a family one day? How am I going to afford for all their shit and my shit and retire? Do I want to have my own house one day? Yes, houses in Canada are absolutely bonkers. How am I going to afford that? Plus retiring. Plus...
I'm so glad I don't live in your brain. Not a single one of these thoughts has ever crossed my mind.
And sometimes I know I shouldn't, but like my brain goes into like, I don't want to see my parents work till they're 70, and if I could help them some way pay off their house or like whatever they need, help them retire so that I don't have to see them. And I know in a way my dad likes working, but also... Like, my mom was so devastated that she had a New York trip planned and she didn't think that she was ever going to get to go to New York because it got canceled through COVID. And it just makes me sad. And I feel like I wish that I could help her travel because I know she wants to. She's always talked about she wants to go to Europe. And she'll never have the money to be able to do that.
Someone else's happiness is not worth your happiness.
But it makes me happy.
No, it doesn't.
Seeing them happy. Yes, it does.
Like,
you can't tell me that seeing me happy doesn't at least make you a little bit happy.
Yes, for me, but you are always...
I know I'm extreme, and I take...
discussing how your life isn't good enough because you're helping other people and doing this and...
This is another one of my eternal loops that I get stuck in.
Fair.
How can I help other people but also help myself? But then I can't help myself because I'm helping other people, but then I'm not helping them, and I feel guilty. Much like any other...
What I've learned from this podcast is...
I have a crazy brain and it doesn't shut off and it just keeps going.
And I'm the literal opposite. And I'm just...
My Starsky and Hutch.
Exist. The thing is, I understand some of these fears and stuff, but like... I guess like what's worse to me, instead of retiring at 50, is doing a job I hate till I'm 50. Not being happy till I'm 50.
Yeah, but
like, I would rather work till I was 100 at a job I loved.
How I look at it is, okay, I don't want to work, or I work a job that makes me happy, but I'm making significantly less money. Am I going to be able to eat when inflation is like 10x by the time I'm 50? Am I going to be able to keep my house when I'm 50 because I took so much less money?
I just like, one, I'll figure it out when I figure it out. Two, I'll do what I gotta do when I gotta do it.
That's like right now, like, I'm just not gonna eat healthy foods because it doesn't matter right now. But when I'm 50, I'm gonna be like, damn, I really wish I ate more apples instead of fast food and butter and this. And now I'm like getting open heart surgery because I ate like crap.
I took a pay cut to do something I loved and hopefully make more money. But if I never did that, I'm just working a job that I hate till I'm miserable and dying and retired. Also, people save all their money to do things when they're older, but when they're older and have their money, they can't do anything.
I agree. And again, that's another loop that I get just...
So, like, what is the point of forever? Like, yes, I wish I saved more than I did. But, like, I just feel like I'd rather be happy now than be miserable and probably still be miserable in the future because the future's not a given.
Also true. There's also something that I need to deal with and is live more. And that was kind of our conversation last night where I wanted to experience life more. I think that's kind of part of it, is living now and not later.
Mm-hmm. I think it's good to think about the future. I think it's good to, like, worry about the future, but not to the extent that can be done sometimes. Like, for example, taking a pay cut to a smaller amount to work a job versus getting no money is very different. Also, you have schooling to get jobs later on in life as well. Might not be the same jobs, but also, like, let's say for some reason we're broke, we can't afford food. I can go back and serve.
But,
I
like,
can go work at a
you're
grocery
not going to be
stop.
70 years old serving.
Could work in a grocery store. Like, there are jobs that people do.
But are they going to hire you?
A lot of people do. You have experience. You find the
right place. A lot
place.
of places won't hire.
Some places won't.
Old people.
Some places will. And, like, yes, saving money, still a good thing to do. But also, I'd hope that I would figure it out before 70, that I couldn't afford my life.
But this is also my...
But not at 25.
This is just a therapy session for me.
Therapist Cassidy.
What were we talking about?
Me being a waitress at 70-year-olds. Granny Cassidy trying to get your order for dinner. Would you like iced tea with that?
No, ma'am. I want you and your... crusty Walker, wrinkly skin fold.
You better tell me that skin fold is beautiful.
Grandma asked to take your walker back to the senior's home.
The food is just, like, on my walker as I roll it out to the table.
Literally. And you're probably spitting all over it, or, like...
There's my glass of, like, dentures sitting there.
Oh, and your little blue Kool-Aid denture cup. Now you just derailed me. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
We were talking about, hopefully that I'd figure my shit out before I was 70 at the same time. Like, I feel like taking chances, being 20, being 30, that's when you take the chances. Before you have a family, before we have a house, before, like, our finances are stuck in. That's when you decide to follow your dreams versus not following your dreams. When you're old, that's when you have to sacrifice your shit.
Yeah, but my next eternal loop is that I need to move out so that I have a space to do all this stuff.
Which is fair.
Because I feel like I don't have space, quiet.
Which is a valid loop that I will say you're on.
So, yeah, I don't know. This is all my issues.
An overthinker. How does it happen? Like, do you think about how you're such an overthinker and I'm such an underthinker? Like, I make decisions like this. There's no thought process. I'm just like, okay, let's do this.
I have to think about something for a week before I...
Mm-hmm. Like, how do we end up together? Like, attract. Those type of people.
It's because we balance each other out, mostly.
I wish that I would come a little bit more this way sometimes.
You're just stubborn to take my...
You take all my traits and I take none of yours. If someone told you I went viral on TikTok overnight, what would it be for? Like, what would your automatically assumption be?
I don't know. You posted a book. I
feel like
you're already doing it.
Lame for me because, like, I do that.
I don't know.
I think for you it'd be
like a nude book review and
a nude book
viral.
Review. You think I'm doing a nude book
review? Maybe you're like, okay, we really need to pay the bills here. We need to get this going, and you just started reading book. What if you live streamed on OnlyFans? Read like a book on
I meant
OnlyFans.
this seriously.
Like you're not like. Well, you could have a different couple genres here. You could be like hooking up with the books.
Hooking up with the books. I did tell you about the book spine smut scene.
Yeah, she got used with a book.
Well, there was no penetration.
Well, could be. What if she folded the pages?
That sounds like a paper cut.
Paper mache. Folded into a unit.
Origami?
A unit? Yeah, that's what I meant. Paper mache origami. Or you could live stream. Like you just read the book. Dude. It'd be like a reading session.
I'm just really confused why you think I'm being nude.
Because you're out of money and BookTube just is no longer. YouTube doesn't exist anymore.
Nude
so your
reading
only
over
choice
getting a
is
job
to
as Granny Cassidy serving.
Bring your followers to OnlyFans and read books to carry on the legacy.
I don't know how I feel about a relationship right now that you think I would just be nude.
Or...
And also, I feel like that's a compliment because I feel like you think that I'm confident enough to be nude on the internet.
How viral are we talking about? Because like if we're going viral, maybe something like that happens.
It was like supposed to be a legit thing that you would think. Not like what you think would go viral, but like what I would be going viral for.
I don't know. You probably like told a famous author that their book sucked or something and it would go viral.
Okay, that's valid. I feel like that's a very valid.
And then the community's outraged or the author's like beefing you now because he wants to fight you because you told them that their book sucked and they're like a popular author, but now and then you met up on the street and then you're fighting them in the middle of the street and someone clips it of like a World Star Hip Hop video of Cassidy fighting.
Why am I fighting someone? You think I'm fighting someone with my hands? This feels like things you think would go viral, not things I would go viral for.
No, but what if it wasn't you like initiating? Like you talk shit about someone's book.
Yeah, but I'm not fighting
and you're
anybody.
Out eating dinner with me and like Jimmy John that wrote Dragon Slayer came and just, oh, you're Cassidy Chiver, covers with Cassidy, and then...
Well, I'm just getting beat up. I'm not fighting somebody.
Well, that maybe is the scenario.
But also, we're book people.
I'm just telling you. You asked me.
We're fighting.
You asked me what would go viral?
No, I didn't ask you what would go viral.
I don't think it's that unrealistic.
When we went to Polycon, they did say, like, you're not supposed to talk badly about like an author's books while you're in line, obviously. But everyone was like, "We're gonna have to duct tape Cassidy's mouth shut."
You'd be something like that. That's literally what I said. Mine was a little more progressional.
You just went too far, like.
But it's not unrealistic.
That's not something I'm doing, or
but
the
it
book
could
community.
Happen.
No,
it could.
No, yours. I think that you would have just done something like I think you would have said something stupid on the internet.
My hand thing would go viral. Someone makes a compilation of my hand thing.
I feel like you have to already be famous for that to like matter.
What if I make the compilation myself?
But like, why does anyone care?
Because I feel like goofy, weird things and people's takes go viral.
I just think you saying something like really stupid, out of pocket, maybe about your girlfriend nude OnlyFans reading.
Nah, that's not even that crazy in today's society. It's not. You go, like, every, 10th person has an OnlyFans.
Yes, I don't think OnlyFans is weird. I just think the fact that you think that I'm going to be nude on the internet is weird.
It's an option if money gets tight.
If I sold the rights to my entire life to Netflix, so they could pick one specific period, phase, or experience or turn into, a movie, what do you think they would choose?
They would probably make a movie on, how you don't give a shit about people. Like, someone's arm got chopped off, but you're you get the most devastating news,
This is true.
And you just be like...
I just, shut off when emotions are around. I just, someone tells me something sad, and I'm just like...
Yeah, it would just be
I think
Nick's leg just got severed by a machine at work. Knock on wood. And he has to be like, he shouldn't have had his leg there. Or he just needs to learn how to deal with it. Or...
Well, I would just probably be like, okay, well,
give me
we
some
gotta
smart ass comment.
We gotta move on. Stop complaining about it.
My leg is gone.
Yeah, but you can't fix your leg.
Oh, I could get a prosthetic one.
Yeah, but it's still gone. You can't take that back. We just gotta live with it and move on. I just don't dwell in the past.
That's what your topic would be. They would make a life.
I think the topic would be about how we started dating.
I don't think that's that crazy.
It would make a great rom-com. Team Nick, team other person. Twitter poll.
That was... You think you can make an entire movie about that?
Yes, it's literally what rom-coms are about. You think they can make an entire movie about just how I don't care?
Yeah, think about all the people you don't care about.
But where's the plot line?
See, this is also my topic. I just feel like I haven't been that exhilarating of a person to make a movie about.
We literally exist in the same, like, the movie that I said involves you,
but you're... Yeah, but I'd be like a side character. You're a main character.
No, you would just do it from your POV instead of mine. And I would kind of be the bad person.
You give me main character vibes. Me, I'm just a side quest.
Just a side quest, not a character.
Exactly.
A quest.
I'm just a quest right now. You'll be on to...
You're my main character. I was arrested. What's your first assumption?
I feel like you're a hit and run. I feel like...
That's extreme.
What do you mean? No, like you hit someone's car and left. But it could be a person too, I guess, if that's where you're going.
Still extreme. I'm thinking you peed somewhere you weren't supposed to be peeing.
I feel like that's something I would do.
Yeah, that's what I would think for you.
Or like...
Or you took a sign home from somewhere.
I don't know. I feel like...
I'm a hit and run kind of person. It sounds...
I don't know. What else? What would you give yourself? I would agree with that. I'd probably pee somewhere or like...
I think I'd
throw an apple outside my window.
Drunk in public.
I don't know if you're really...
Or like, technically I guess breaking and entering. I feel like...
Breaking and entering? You don't think that's more severe than bumping into someone's car in Cineplex and driving away?
I feel like I could very easily be talked into like skinny dipping in a pool.
Well, that's happened. I don't think there's any convincing there.
Yeah, but like some random pool. And that's why I'd be arrested. Which is technically breaking and entering.
I could see my luck. I would shoot someone with like a Nerf gun and get like assault with like and then they call it assault with a deadly weapon and it'd be like a Nerf gun.
I definitely thought you were just about to say, look, you're like you can shoot someone. And I was like, how? What?
Or like, yeah, so like with like a paintball gun or something, and someone would be like, you assaulted me with a deadly weapon.
I could see
and it
that
would be
too.
It would be my luck that they would charge me with something crazy like that, and it was like I was trying to be fun. I threw like a basketball at them.
I could see that.
And it rolled off their ankle.
I could 100% see that. So, but at first, that's not where I thought you were going with that. And I was like, how did you accidentally shoot someone?
Harvesting organs.
Harvesting organs. Well, make sure I'm...
Would you sell a kidney?
If you were reincarnated, it could be anyone, who would you be?
I feel like Drake lives a pretty solid life.
Back to Drake's massive eggplant.
He's accomplished a lot. He's got a lot of money. He could experience anything he wants to experience.
That's a valid answer.
And it started at like a young age. Like I feel like he has a lot of life to like pack in all his experiences. Like he was at a point where at 18 he could pretty much, maybe not 18, by 25 he could do anything he wanted to.
That's fair.
I feel like
my initial response is always like Taylor Swift, just because like it'd be cool to be Taylor Swift and like she gets to live her dream every day. But in actuality, I don't think I'd want to be that famous. I think that would be more burden than anything else. So I think I'd want to be like a washed up reality show star who like has somewhat fame, some money, but like isn't in the public eye as much. Or like Hillary Duff.
That's why I feel like YouTube famous is like a good level. Because like if you didn't want to be famous anymore, you could stop posting. It would take a while, but I think you could get unfamous like eventually after like 5 years, where like Drake will be famous until he dies. Taylor Swift will be famous until she's gone.
You were on a reality TV show, what would you be on? Or like what would you think I would be on?
I would probably be on Big Brother and I'd probably win that shit.
My answer is you'd be on Big Brother and I think you'd win it.
Feel like
I think you'd be really good at it.
I can play the field.
Play the field. I think people would really like you, and you're like decently good at like you're physically
manipulating people.
you're like physically fit, so you'd be able to like do a lot of competitions, but you're also like smart that you could do some like the more brain things. But then also people like you. I would be voted off first because I'd be talking shit about every single person.
My downfall would be I'd be too competitive in the games, and I would be like.
I don't think you would be.
People would see me as like I
think you'd be smarter than this.
I would like to think I would, but I feel like my competitiveness would overcome my like. I need to win.
My thing would be that you would never want to be head of household because you wouldn't have to wouldn't want to make decisions.
Well, that's kind of the strategy of it. Is like you don't want to be the kingpin, otherwise you get targeted.
Well, at the beginning, yes.
You got to be manipulative to like get people to do your bidding.
Except for you also have to be liked at the end and not have crossed everyone. I've seen a lot of people not win that final vote and come in second.
That's a dumb way to play the game. Like not play the game to how the game works is that like the people.
But that's part of the game.
Yeah, but everyone
you just don't want it to be part of the game.
Everyone just gets butthurt. It's like, well, you voted me out, so I'm not going to vote you. It's like. No one is honest about, okay, yeah, that was actually kind of sneaky what they did, or they played a good manipulative game.
I have seen people say that, but it's also part of the game is social.
I don't know. That part sucks.
It's a whole other element to the game.
I'd be a top twoer.
Yeah, I think you would win Big Brother. I would be on some drama-filled show. Cooking show?
Yeah, you'd be like Whitney. Was Whitney Houston a cooker?
No! Whitney Houston's a singer!
I thought she was like one of those like cooking infomercial. Whitney Houston, who's the old lady that cooks. Martha Stewart? Who's Martha Stewart? Yeah, Martha Stewart.
Oh. You think I'm going to be on a cooking show? You believe in my cooking skills that much?
Yes. You like to cook.
Yeah, but I'm not good at it.
Doesn't matter. You can talk and you can convince people that you're good at cooking with your words.
Okay, like do you think I'm gonna like have my own like cooking like
show? Yes.
Like cooking with Cassidy.
Cooking with Cassidy.
Cooking up some beets.
Cooking up
or some drugs or some food. Who knows? Okay, I was thinking a competition, and I was like, I'm losing that. I'm surprised by that answer actually. I definitely would be like on like. Obviously not Real Housewives because you have to be a housewife for that, but like Summer House or like Vanderpump Rules, which is just like drama and people talking shit about people.
I feel like you're not like one to get in drama though. You like to gossip behind people's backs, but like you don't like.
So mean about me, but so true.
You don't like to like go out and start drama. I feel like. Like you'll complain, you'll be like, yeah, that person. But you'll never go up to someone and be like, what you did last night, that was really fucked up. I would
get me drunk, and I've started a lot of drama. Accidentally most of the time, but
I think you.
But like, it's you don't watch them, but like Paige just like talks shit in her confessionals, but she doesn't star in a drama. Like that would be what I would like. I would love to do is just like sit there and talk shit about everyone all the time.
I think you'd be more of a. Cooking with Cassidy.
Cooking with Cassidy. That's a valid answer, so.
Or like.
Oh, also, I can also say that I think you could be on Alone. I think you'd be crazy for it, but I could see you. Especially
as
like. As
much as I think that I could do well on it, I think my willpower.
The season that they did 2 people, I could see you and your dad.
If I was younger, I think my willpower would have been strong enough, but I think. Your willpower of like not giving a fuck has rubbed off on me in a way like
that money isn't worth starving your body and
like that you'd be like fuck that, I'm out first day.
Yeah, because
I would go longer, but I think that like I don't care that much has rubbed off on me compared to where I was when we started dating.
Good. It's a vibe. Not caring is a vibe.
I'd probably be good on like competition shows, maybe like Survivor.
The Traders?
Don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
Okay, well, it's essentially. Do you know what The Mole is? It's It's kind of Among Us.
You know, it was a crazy game show. I have no idea what it's called.
That was so. Okay,
I saw TikTok on it the other day. It reminded me. It was on, maybe it was a YTV thing, but it was on like Kids Network. It was like a game show. These kids were like temple people, and they had to collect the golden monkeys. They had to do like little challenges, and every time you got a golden monkey, it like added time on for like the final golden monkey challenge, and you got the golden, and they won like prizes depending on how well you did on your final competition. It was kind of like a game show for kids.
I don't know that show. I
that
did watch
shit
one
was smacking,
where it was like kids that were like put in like an abandoned town, and they had to like rule themselves, and like
what kind of child? I shouldn't even say anything because it'll bury our video.
So like they would go to like, and they'd have to like survive, and I think they'd like vote someone off every week almost, but like they had like chickens, like that's how they fed themselves. So with like the eggs of the chicken, and they had to like churn their butter, like, but it was like a whole like show, and there was like different teams, and they like had to compete sometimes. I don't know what it was either, but I remember watching that. I watched a few things like that. My dad and me watched one where it was like essentially a zombie apocalypse kind of idea, and they just put a bunch of strangers together in like a warehouse, and they had to like survive.
This sounds like some kids were getting treated unfairly.
No, that one was not kids.
I'm not trying to say the
first
word.
one was kids, but the second one was adults.
It sounds, I don't know. All I remember is I wanted to be on that monkey temple show.
Monkey temple show. I don't know what this is. I'm looking up.
I'm gonna need to like I want to say Temple Run, but that's
the game.
Yeah.
Jungle Run was the coolest British kids show.
Yeah.
This is from 1999 to 2006. They had to collect monkey statues.
Yes, that's the game. Look at them. They're all wearing little helmets. They made it all so dramatic too. Like it was like they're going into World War II. Like they got combat gear on, but they were like walking across the balance beam to get a plastic monkey. And the things they won had to be illegal because like it was like a watch that you got out of a Kinder Surprise. Like that had to be illegal. That's the prize you're giving out?
Okay, and the one I was talking about was called Kid Nation. It's a group of young kids are forced to the limits as they experience challenges without adults.
Let me see a picture.
It's essentially kind of like Survivor-ish.
Save a picture of this thing.
You could Google the show name now that we know it.
It's called Survive This?
No, it's called Kid Nation.
I have never seen this in my life.
I'm not surprised. I watched some weird things.
They're in the Wild West?
Yeah.
Why is the thumbnail this one? This kid is bawling his eyes out.
Well, because crying emotion is good. Clickbait.
Yeah, because they left this kid abandoned in a desert with no food and water.
They had chickens.
And they were forced to breed chickens. That's going to be like sexual abuse or something.
Sexual abuse to breed. They were not breeding chickens.
They're
they were
forcing
just
the chickens
collecting
to
the
bang.
eggs.
As a child. I feel like that would impact you as a child to make a chicken.
You're not holding the chicken down. The chickens are living in a coop.
Yeah, but
and you just go every single day and say, "Oh, there's an egg."
Adam Sandler was on it. Wait, is this Adam Sandler? That's not Adam Sandler. I don't think that's Adam Sandler, but it kind of looks like Adam
Sandler. No, it's not.
I've never seen that in my life. What are we rocking with here? We just did another 20 minutes.
This does say the worst reality show ever made. So I remember liking it. I don't know what the adult one was, but
I wish you did Temple Run.
I played Temple Run.
I wanted every kid that's seen that show wanted to be in that thing.
Just gives you. I don't really exist in my brain thinking that I want to be on these shows.
I would have been.
Probably because I would suck at them. Like, I don't want to do a challenge that I'm going to fail at.
I would have got the monkey.
You would have? Okay, well.
I don't know. We can wrap this up.
Yeah, I think this is a good place to end this, talking about all our reality TV dreams. If you know any other cooler reality TV shows we should check out, let us know.
Comment, subscribe, YouTube.
Bye.